G'day everyone and welcome to the annual Saminator live stream of my reaction to the 2020, just the Melbourne Cup barrier draw, and this year it does happen to be the 2025 barrier draw, if you didn't already know. This is the little screen I've got up. This is my Melbourne Cup spreadsheet where I keep all my stats about the window and all that, and you can see this field. I don't actually know the field if it's been released yet. But this is what we've got. This is the field that I showed you guys on Tuesday when I did my Everything You Need to Know Melbourne Cup video. And this is the field I had. I'm not sure of the full field yet, but I know that this is what it looks like. And I think that these 24 horses are all confirmed to start. There was a bit of a vet query on the imports. Goody 2 Shoes Flatten the Curve and Absurd, but I've heard they've all been past fit this morning. What's good, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. As you can see down the bottom, we've got a bit of a rolling script, and it's the profit on turnover from the video that I did way back, called How to Pick the Winner of the 2025 Melbourne Cup, and it's got all the profit on turnovers. It's not like any stats sheet that you see, because it actually takes into account the horses that were beaten by this much. So if you draw 1 to 6 and you already like a particular horse in the Melbourne Cup, then that's really good. So we'll have to keep a track for that. And barriers 7 to 12 on profit on turnover don't perform very well. Twilight Payment, Protectionist, and something else, whatever it was, maybe Americane, that you'll see in the rolling script down there. Yeah, the barriers 7 to 12 have had the worst profit on turnover. It's currently 6:06 p.m. So the barrier draw starts at 6:15. I checked on the Flemington website. It said you can watch it on 9Gem, but I checked the 9Gem TV guide, and it's some Alaskan show, I'm pretty sure. So Andrew Bensley, who's a very reliable source on X or Twitter, said that it's going to be on racing.com starting from 6:15. Does anyone, I'm just looking at the racing.com screen at the moment, does anyone have anything going at Ascot? I know the Steps has Joker's Grin. The Steps is a very good form analyst, and he's doing pretty well in the Fan Cup. Oscar's Fortune's in the race. This is actually a decent race at Ascot here, the Prince of Wales. If it's a little soft, I particularly like Torrenzino. Torrenzino does go very well in the wet, but just for me, it's just a query on class, to be honest. Like I said in one of my videos gone by, I just can't see Torrenzino winning, but it won the Geelong Cup, and the Geelong Cup's a good form reference. Joker's Grin is the favourite here, and the favourite is cruising up to them. Oscar's Fortune back to the insides, running on, but Joker's Grin, the favourite at $1.50, is going to Salute. Gee, what a race day it was today. I think I was the only person in Australia to have a losing day today with the amount of winners we had. Observer, Pride of Jenny, Get a Good Feeling, Autumn Glow, 10 Tyrus, all these horses that everyone was all over except for me. Brian, Further and Changing of the Guard. Well, I do like Further, and I actually think Changing of the Guard is a very good Raffy. So I like your opinion there, Brian. So the barrier draw is about 7 minutes away. I heard it's going to be broadcast live on racing.com and also 9Gem, if you're wondering where to watch it, or you could just watch my reaction. David says bookies will be hurting after today. Gotta love it. Absolutely. Observer, 10 Tyrus. I said all these horses just a minute ago. Autumn Glow, Jimmy Star. All these horses. And the amount of multis that got up. I wasn't quite listening to whatever his name was on Sky Thoroughbred Central had to say before the Golden Eagle, but he said that the TAB were going to lose millions if Autumn Glow got up. So, Gordon, Ross, I'm a big fan of yours. I actually have your notifications turned on Wolf Den. Big loss for me as well. Couple at Ascot yet. Well, if you've had a losing day, then I don't feel as bad, to be honest, Gordon. Only one Australian bred horse. I'm assuming that's Torrenzino. Changing of the Guard's form looks just mediocre, but at the moment it's in the window. And 80% of the winners of the last 15 editions of the Melbourne Cup have been in the window. So the only two form factors left to go to input into what is the window is the barrier and the predicted in-run position. And the predicted in-run position will be decided by me with the barrier draw. And for all those that have just joined, as you can see down the bottom, the rolling script shows the profit on turnover of each of the barriers over the last 15 years, proportionally staking all those horses, and 1 to 6 has been most profitable. Who to like at moment, Sam, before the draw, says David. Well, I think I said it on Tuesday, but Presage Nocturne, Further, and Middle Earth. Middle Earth is the one that I'm sort of, I don't know whether to be with it or not. I'm not too keen on, how it ran in the Caulfield Cup and the fact that Mark Zara's got off Middle Earth to ride our Riffer. By the way, how good is Mark Zara? He is awesome. He rode 4 winners in a row. The punters were all over them. Whatever their names were. Tentaris, Observer, Get a Good Feeling, and Warney. Changing of the Guard Heritage Cup backup option, says Sky High Horse Racing. That is an option for sure, but it's in the Cup. Mark Zara, what a gun, absolutely. I'm just looking at racing.com now. They're showing the replays of some of the races today, and for the 71 of you watching, there's a bloke that just typed in the chat. His name's Sky High Horse Racing. If you're not subscribed to him, then you got to go and do it right now, because he has tipped 7 out of 9 winners today on Derby Day, which is something that Derby Day is one of the toughest days of the year, and I know some favourites got up today, but 7 out of 9, the only ones he got wrong was New York Luster and Warney. Every other race he got the winner. So, and I'll say it, he's a better judge than me, absolutely. For the little comps we have, he's winning all the time. He's got the crown all the time. So if you're not subscribed to him, I don't know what you're missing out on. Well, I do know what you're missing out on, actually, because I watch his preview every week that it comes out. So go and follow Sky High Horse Racing, because he tips winners, and you want winners. And he's typed in the chat just then and said Parchment Party has to be included in the wet. I heard it's not going to be too wet, actually. I know in my Melbourne Cup video on Tuesday, I said about 40 mil of rain. I had all the snorkel and all that. But I just looked before on Weather Zone. It only said 1 to 5 mil of rain, which is not much at all. There's supposed to be 10 to 20 mil fall on Monday, but that's just going to be what the track needs to hold up between Derby Day and Cup Day. I expect the track to be good for probably a soft 5, to be honest, but it's not going to be too wet at all. Man, I really hope Arapaho gets a decent barrier. Arapaho would have been a knockout chance in the wet. I'm just looking at the Melbourne Cup field now, and it's the exact same as what I've got up here, so that's good. Did Birdman not qualify, or they didn't want to run I know a few people like him in the Cup. Birdman did not qualify. He obviously didn't get in the field. Valiant King was the 24th horse that got in the field, but I'm pretty sure it was Royal Supremacy who was the last horse in, but because it starts with an R and has the same weight as Valiant King, it's saddlecloth number 22. So they're just showing on racing.com the final field, and it's the exact field that I've got up here. Not too sure on the jockeys, but I'm pretty sure most of those are correct. Really barracking for Buckaroo to win on Tuesday. Deserves it. Yeah, Buckaroo he brings the Cox Plate form, and the Cox Plate form always, stands up in a Melbourne Cup. We've seen it with Very Elegant. We've seen it with Gold Trip. And I think Buckaroo is a bit similar to Very Elegant in the sense that Chris Waller trained Very Elegant. He also trains Buckaroo. Very Elegant ran 7th in the Melbourne Cup in 2020 and then won in 2021. Very Elegant went through the Caulfield Cup path in 2020 and then went through the Cox Plate path in 2021. It's all aligning for Buckaroo. The only difference is Very Elegant was a girl and Buckaroo is a boy. But look, he's bringing probably, for the Australian horses, the best form into the race. Half Yours won the Caulfield Cup, but Buckaroo finishing second, beaten that much by Via Sistina, I think is better form. Further is wildly inconsistent. Well, let's hope he's up to his best on Tuesday. That's for sure. David says too much weight for Buckaroo. I mean, he carried something similar last year and he wasn't disgraced. He had to do a lot of work from the 800 to the 400. That's a horse that really needs a barrier, a good barrier is Buckaroo. So he doesn't have to, like from last year, he drew 21 and he had to go back and try and swoop around them. And they're about to start the barrier draw. Grace Hayes now, but Grace Ramage, I haven't seen her for years on social media or racing.com or anything like that. They're just about to start the barrier draw. For all those wondering, you can watch it on racing.com on the app or 9gem. I'm pretty sure. I heard someone say it was on 9gem. So they're about to do the barrier draw, and this will help paint the picture of a very interesting Melbourne Cup. Brian's making a good case for changing of the guard. David likes Presage Nocturne. Emma's a first-time watcher and a long-time listener. Well, hopefully you can hit that subscribe button and you can be watching for a long time. Sky High Horse Racing is with Al Riffa. Al Riffa is a very interesting horse. I'm not going to say too much because I want you guys to listen to what I've got to say in the video I'll put out tonight about my Melbourne Cup selections, exotic suggested bet and whatnot. Don't sleep on Middle Earth, says Adam. Well, absolutely. He is in the window. So I won't be sleeping on him. Valiant King to get barrier 10. You've got a 1 in 24 chance, Emma, of getting that right. So we'll see how you go. But if Valiant King gets barrier 10, that's actually a pretty good draw for that horse. I don't have the sound on racing.com, so I have no idea who's talking, but it doesn't look like they're in the mounting yard, which they've always done it in the mounting yard since I've been alive. David says that the draw is on 9gem as well. They're just showing the final field with the jockeys and the trainers, and so far horses 1 to 8 are correct. And horses 9 to 16 are correct. So big shout out to Andrew Hawkins on X, who has got these all spot on and helped me be able to show this graphic to you guys. And we're just waiting. They're doing a lot of talking and not much barrier drawing. We're here for the barrier draw. Come on, speed it up. There's Rob Montgomery, the heads. Well, he's probably the most popular steward in Victorian racing. I've met him before. He's very nice, Rob Montgomery. He looks scary, but he's actually a nice bloke. And he's drawing the barriers, making sure everything's fair and everything. Backing further and changing the guard for the place. They're drawing it. I think he said number 1. So I think, Al Riff is going to be the first horse to draw a barrier. All right, here we go. This is the 2025 Melbourne Cup barrier draw. Al Riffa, a horse that got back in the Irish St. Ledger. What are we going to get for Al Riffa? What is Al Riffa going to draw? He's holding it the wrong way, the bloke that drew the barrier, but I'm pretty sure it's barrier 19. Barrier 19 for Al Riffa. Well, it's sort of out in no man's land a bit, but barriers 19 to 24 have, been the second best performing barrier in terms of sections, like 19 to 24. As you can see on the rolling script down there, negative 18% profit on turnover. I'm pretty sure the next horse to draw was Half Yours. This is another big one, the favourite. I'm pretty sure it's Half Yours. Gate number 10. No, that was Valiant King. Emma. That can't have been on that big of a delay. Has Emma just got that? I'm pretty sure Emma guessed barrier 10 for Valiant King. My thing can't be on that much of a delay, so she just got that. Wow. Crystal ball. Emma has a crystal ball, as Sky High Horse Racing says in the chat. I didn't see who got drawn then, but they've got barrier number 6. One Smooth Operator has got gate 6. Very good barrier draw for One Smooth this year. The next barrier is horse number 11, Land Legend, an outsider. So hopefully it can draw wide and we can save up the good gates for the good chances. Gate 16 for Land Legend. So will they roll the dice and go forward this start with Land Legend, or will they go back again? The next ball that Rob Montgomery has drawn is gate 17, and this is Further. The horse that I've been all over for 4 months now. Please draw 1 to 6. Please. What's he drawn? Gate 7. Not bad. It's not 1 to 6, but that's a good barrier draw for Further. Horse number 21 is the next one. It's River of Stars, the second place getter in the Caulfield Cup. Bit surprising. It was 100 to 1. And we'll see what barrier it can draw. It's got gate 14, so it'll likely roll forward and be up there on pace. I need to set this to middle. Next ball that Rob Montgomery has drawn is number 20, which is Goody Two Shoes, one of the internationals, for Joseph O'Brien. Goody Two Shoes has drawn gate number 20. So pretty wide for Goody Two Shoes. Ball number 3 is the next one, and that is Arapaho. So where does Arapaho draw? For Bjorn. Arapaho's got gate number 15. I mean, Arapaho's a horse that runs midfield anyway, so it's not too bad for a horse like Arapaho. The next one is gate number 18, I'm pretty sure, and that is the American Parchment Party. Very interesting to see how this horse goes. It's got gate number 3. So barriers 1 to 6 are a positive profit on turnover. So it's actually drawn pretty well. Or a high profit on turnover gate. Horse number 10 is the next one, and it is flatten the curve for my new favourite jockey, the Hammer. Thor Hammer Hansen rides. He's got gate number 17. Pretty wide. Pretty wide for flatten the curve. The next ball is ball number 7, and it is Middle Earth. Went through the JRA Cup. Mark Zara has got off this thing to ride our Riffer. Ethan Brown takes the ride on Middle Earth. It's drawn 13. So not terrible. Pretty good actually for Melbourne Cup. The next ball that Rob Montgomery has drawn is number 12, and it is Smokin' Romans, who is unfancied, currently at 100-1 before the barrier draw. A horse that we all know likes to roll forward. And just pick one, mate. Number 11. So very low profit on turnover barrier for Smokin' Romans. I think the next one is Maidan for J-Mac. $22. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was for Maidan. 22, that is out in no man's land for James McDonald. Very poor draw. Unfortunate for Simon and Ed Crisford, the trainers. And the next horse drawn is drawn by Terry Henderson, who's my mate. He didn't show the camera what barrier he drew for Athabaskan, who's an outsider, but he's drawn the inside. OTI drew the inside with Sea King last year, and they've drawn it again with Athabaskan. The next horse, I couldn't see what ball that was, but it was a double-digit number. It is More Felons. And More Felons has drawn, again, gate 23. So we've got a couple of bad gates in a row. More Felons a little bit unfancied, and it's taken up gate 23. Rob Montgomery's next horse is Torrenzino, the Geelong Cup winner. And we'll see what it can draw. Sue says Chase Pig, one smooth operator before the barrier draw looks even better now. Absolutely. One smooth operator is drawn ideally. 18 for Torrenzino. I've just looked down. 175 people currently watching. Thanks everyone for currently tuning in. Means a lot. Royal Supremacy is the next one. For Robbie Dolan. He won it last year on Knight's Choice. He's drawn 21. Bit of a tougher task for Robbie this year. We've still got Half Yours. We've still got Presage Nocturne. We've still got Buckaroo to be drawn. I couldn't see what ball number that was from Rob Montgomery. Presage Nocturne. All right, this is a pretty big barrier. What's he got? 9? Is that barrier 9 for Presage Nocturne? It's a low profit on turnover barrier that could kick him out of the window. The next one is Changing of the Guard. Another horse unfancied, but it's going close to being in the window. Changing of the Guard, 24. The worst. Oh no, that was Half Yours. Or was it? It says Half Yours on the screen, but I'm pretty sure it was Changing of the Guard. No, it was Changing of the Guard. I thought that was Half Yours for a second. It said on the screen it was Half Yours, but okay, I don't know what's going on anymore. And because of that, I didn't see who's now drawing the barrier, and it's gate 5 for Chevalier Rose for Damien Lane, the Japanese. Horse 9 is next, Absurd. So Presage Nocturne draws a low profit on turnover barrier. Changing of the Guard draws the worst barrier. And Chevalier Rose is drawn well. Absurd's got gate number 4. It's pretty similar to last year for Absurd. Horse number 14. This is the favourite Half Yours. There's 3 barriers left to go. What does Half Yours draw? Half Yours has got 8. Gate number 8 for half yours. That is a pretty good draw for the favourite. Pretty good. It's in the low profit on turnover category, but it'll get a good run in transit. Horse number 2 is next in Buckaroo. There's only a couple of barriers left to go. One of them is barrier 2. And the other one, who knows what the other one is? I can't tell off the top of my head. It's a double digit. Buckaroo's drawn gate number 12. Gate 12 for Buckaroo. Honestly, pretty good. And Vauban gets the last barrier, which is, well, I'm not too sure at the moment. If I quickly scroll through everything, if I quickly go over everything, I don't know which barrier it is. But Vauban's got the last barrier. Gate number 2. I said that before. Gate number 2 for Vauban, for Blake Shin. And that concludes the Melbourne Cup 2025 barrier draw. Here's all your barriers. Alriffa's got 19, Buckaroo 12, Arapaho 15, Vauban 2, Chevalier Rose 5, Presage Nocturne 9, Middle Earth 13, Maidan 22, Absurd 4, Flatten the Curve 17, Land Legend 16, Smokin' Romans 11, Changing of the Guard 24, Half Yours 8, More Felons 23, One Smooth Operator 6, Further 7, Parchment Party 3, Athabascan 1, Goody Two Shoes 20, River of Stars 14, Royal Supremacy 21, Torrenzino 18, and Valiant King 10. Rightio. I'm going to get cracking on and put out my Melbourne Cup preview. Thanks everybody for watching. And tune in to my Melbourne Cup tips video that'll come out in about 2 or 3 hours from now. Good luck in the Cup, whoever you're backing. And until then, bye for now.